In well-heeled Surrey,
Hello.
one pawnbroker is pushing the boundaries.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. That's what I'm talking about.
Specialising in big-ticket items
Supercars, jewellery, watches, fine wines, art, almost anything of value. If it's expensive, we want it.
You're looking about £7,000 to £8,000. It's not your normal bottle of wine.
and the more unusual the better.
I've never seen anything like it.
This time,
It's £3 down the drain.
there's celebrity headgear,
Over here, we've got Princess Beatrice. She wore this Christmas mass.
infamous faces,
This was a bullet hole through Ronnie Krays' head.
Let's see.
but will Boss James be seeing stars
Yay!
as he takes jet setting to a whole new level?
It's not an easy thing to value by any means.
Welcome to the world
Cheers.
of Posh Pawn. Nationally, gold rings are the most popular item people seek loans against.
Will you tell us today?
I will tell you now.
Yeah.
But there's nothing predictable about this pawn shop's fare.
For one day, you're looking at a piece of jewellery.
Ta-da!
You're talking mega money.
Next minute, you're looking at a submarine.
This is absolutely amazing. We're able to give you 50 grand.
Set up 5 years ago by businessman James Constantino,
He's in charge, believe it or not.
Prestige currently run 2 shops in Surrey's wealthy commuter belt.
Oh, wow.
We specialise on the big loans.
You're probably looking at about $250,000.
We're talking mega money here. That's what we're all about.
James has an amazing contacts list.
She's motoring along now, isn't she? This is what it's all about.
He can basically move on and sell anything.
It's a goer, mate. Yes. I can offer you a figure of 120,000.
Wow.
Sex on wheels, isn't it?
Thanks for the inquiry.
It's Monday morning in Weybridge,
Do you want to sell it or loan against it?
and James has had a call from a new prospective client.
OK, great, thank you. Bye. Well, that's interesting. That's a woman from Sunningdale. She's got a hat shop over there. She is looking to raise some money. She's got a lovely ruby and diamond necklace.
Oh, nice.
Been in the family for years.
This used to be a hat shop.
You got any other interesting facts?
Come on, babies.
The owner of the jewellery is hat maker to the stars, Ilda.
They're a little bit spoiled. No veto. They have got a couple of hats. We have around 200 hats here. They're all very unique, one-offs and all designed by me. Over here, we've got Princess Beatrice. She wore this Christmas mass. Goes a bit like that. She wore that, and I think her mum borrowed it as well for Margaret Thatcher's funeral. We did Amanda Holden's wedding, and they actually went for the small pillboxes. They went for these styles at Babington House, which I did attend, which was really nice. A beautiful wedding.
A woman with a head for business, Ilda's style and innovation have earned her a reputation in high society.
After lunch, where are you going?
To St Paul's Cathedral. I'm literally going to catch the train in 15 minutes.
1 second. I get people turning up last minute like this all the time. My job's to make people happy, make people look good.
Yeah, okay,
Can you take
lovely.
that?
I will do.
Perfect.
Thank you.
In Italy, we call it the bella figura, which is complete perfection. Have a lovely day. Thanks, bye-bye. Another happy customer.
But only 5 years ago, Ilda's life was very different.
I was working in the corporate industry, in the finance sector, and work started getting really demanding, working till midnight for my boss in America, but it was obvious they were going to make us all redundant after all this work. Now, we can curl these type of feathers and make them shorter. I'm not the sort of person who's going to sit back and cry about it. I'm going to get on with it and move on.
After being made redundant, Ilda took a millinery course and opened her boutique. Business quickly started booming, and she needs to expand to keep up with demand.
We haven't got the room here. If I had a big enough premises and a staff to help me with that, I probably wouldn't be working such long hours.
Now she's hoping to make her mark in London with a new boutique.
Well, obviously, expanding into London is going to be a massive risk for us. It is a bit frightening to open up a boutique with a rent so high to guarantee the client's going to come in.
To help realise her dream, Ilda's decided to sell some family jewellery. But wants her friend Amber's opinion.
What do you think? It's beautiful, isn't it?
What is it?
I think it might be rubies and diamonds. I'm not quite sure, because look, it's quite pink, isn't it? It's been passed down from my grandmum to my mum, and as my mum's mum passed away when she was very young, she doesn't know the history of it, so we don't really know anything about it, but it is a beautiful piece and it looks very old. I'd love to keep it, but obviously I need it to if I want to expand the business. So I'm hoping to sell the jewellery, and I was hoping to get about £50,000. You watch Pretty Woman?
Yeah, I can't
So you
remember
know
that detail, though.
when she puts her hand in here to go and touch it, and Richard Gere goes, "La." Do you remember?
Like Ilda, pawn shop boss James is also expanding into the capital.
Opening a store in Hatton Garden is definitely stepping up a gear in the right direction. We spent an absolute fortune in kitting it out, and we must recoup some of that money by getting people in with those high-end assets.
It's a stressful time for James and his team.
This Hatton Garden idea is becoming more and more draining by the second, isn't it?
It'll be fine.
As the store gets nearer to opening, my stress levels are extremely high. What are you going to do about that? Is that behind the counter? What's going on with that hole? What are you going to do with all this shit? At the moment, I'm quite highly strung, and I don't want the staff to know that I'm under a lot of stress. I'm trying to keep it from them, but it's very, very difficult.
I didn't know until I printed those off.
Lawrence, you're talking in riddles, mate. You're talking riddles. You're wasting my time. I just want to get the store up and running, and then it'll be a massive sigh of relief.
Good afternoon, Prestige.
With so much money invested in the new store, it's essential that big-ticket items keep rolling in, whether it's loans or sales.
Sorry, can I just ask you to hold one sec?
And the last thing James needs is to be taking any more risks.
This is weird, Joe. We've got an inquiry for a water jetpack, which is a thing you strap to your body and it propels you...
Oh, I've seen them on the telly.
Have you?
Yeah, it's like a big life jacket and it shoots you out of the water like a rocket launching.
Well, this guy's got one, wants to sell it.
Oh, my God, you're going to have to go and try it. It looked brilliant. You'll think you're James Bond in a minute.
What do you mean in a minute? Come on now, Miss Moneypenny, get on with your typing.
Oh, yeah.
There's not going to be thousands of people queuing up to buy one of them, but hopefully we will find someone for it.
The owner of the jetpack is 52-year-old Mick from Gosport in Hampshire.
Use cold water, not hot water.
Hurry up and go out, I can have a bit of peace.
Any girlfriend I have, they got to have some balls behind them to be with me.
Mick's an adrenaline junkie who loves his gadgets.
Anything to do with water, anything to do with flying, I want it. I like the adrenaline rush. Really? Right, here we go. Right.
His latest toy is a jetpack.
Basically, it goes in the water and it's capable of flying you 35 feet at 30 miles an hour. You haven't got a brake, you ain't got a clutch, you got nothing to stop it.
But his enthusiasm is not matched by his long-suffering partner, Jane.
This is somebody who's 30 and
You can't say that. How can you say this is something for 30?
If you were fitter.
I am fit, that's why you're with me.
No, no.
She don't want me flying it because my age. And it's like, you know, I'm 52, love. I'm not 102. Jane still loves you.
Somewhat reluctantly, Mick has agreed to sell the jetpack, but only if the price is right.
I'm looking for the sum of about £35,000.
Our dream is to go to the Maldives for a couple of weeks, just me and him on our own.
Take me 4 grandkids away to Disneyland, Paris, or wherever they wanted to go.
Maybe get married as well one day. And we love each other, don't we?
Don't be silly, none of that ridiculous stuff.
But will pawn shop boss James be prepared to risk his neck on such an expensive boy's toy?
We're going.
As pawn shops go, this one is far from run-of-the-mill.
Have a look at this.
Wow.
6.5 carats.
Wow.
It regularly deals in the luxury goods of Surrey's glitterati.
Bloody Nora. I mean, the items we get through the door every day are mind-blowing.
But that doesn't mean Boss James is prepared to splash out on expensive marketing for his new flagship store.
We're going to get a sandwich board made up and you're going to have to wear it.
Oh, yeah, and that is nearly the funniest thing that I've ever heard you even think.
It's going to be lightweight.
Yeah.
Have two little
It's
straps.
Funny. Why don't you get the
I'll tell
sandwich
you
board
what.
with a little tray
Yeah.
at the front, so while I'm actually advertising it, I could be emailing and doing some
Well, look, all right, I'll
accounts
tell you what.
and bookkeeping at the same time.
Whilst most inquiries come into the pawn shop by email or phone call, occasionally a potential client makes contact the old school way.
Had this come through the post. Dear James, please find enclosed a series of photos of paintings by Ronnie and Reggie Cray.
Let's have a look.
Hold on, can I have a look first?
Sorry, I love things like this.
They're so childlike. I don't get it. I don't think they've done that one. That's too good. I think they've done this one, which is more akin to something Lawrence might do.
The Cray Twins were obviously notorious East End gangsters, so I was quite shocked to get an inquiry about art painted by them.
This one is called Down and Out, apparently.
Wouldn't that be called fisticuffs?
Well, I can see why it would be called Down and Out as well.
Down and out, to me, is more like down on your luck.
That's right. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's got two meanings. Far better than fisticuffs. Oh dear.
Eastbourne on Britain's south coast, home to retired businessman Brian and his partner Sally.
Are you ready?
Yeah, just have a clean up before we go.
Well, we can do it and get back.
No, I'll do it now so it's done.
Oh, OK.
Brian has always been house proud, even when he was a guest at Her Majesty's pleasure.
When I was in prison, some people said, wow, your cell's clean. And I said, well, I couldn't live any other way.
Everything in its place.
In the 70s and 80s, Brian had a business empire, running nightclubs alongside a building firm.
At the time, money wasn't the object, so obviously I used to go out perhaps for lunch, come back in the afternoon, have a sauna, get myself ready, go out again in the evening, meet different people, whether it was celebrities, sports stars, and this is how I met Charlie Cray. I've got my first rolls, and I thought, yes, I'd now made it. And as long as you're having that life, you think it's never going to end.
But as the excesses of the 80s drew to a close, Brian's business started to collapse.
I was frightened of losing everything, and of course looked at other ways of getting money, and obviously ended up in trouble.
In desperation, Brian turned to crime.
I got caught planning some work on a bank and I ended up in prison for 12 years.
Over a decade later, and as a failed bank robber, Brian has found life on the outside tough.
I had no money. In fact, I'll be honest, I had £37 in my pocket. And now you've got to start building a life again.
Brian and his partner Sally now want to start afresh in Spain, and he's hoping some paintings from his past will help fund his getaway.
This is one of Ronnie Krays, The Cottage. The road goes off to London. I think this is meant to be one of them in the ring. I know for a fact that these are all genuine. A friend of mine actually bought them out from prison. They were given to him by Reggie Cray. If I could get somewhere in the region of £40,000, I'd be well happy.
But will the pawn shop be as enthusiastic about this controversial artwork? Whatever the quality of paintings, provenance is always important.
This Chanel's?
Yeah.
Have you got any books and papers with it?
And the same goes for memorabilia, one of antiques expert Lawrence's favourite subjects.
Hello. Hello, how can I help? My name's Michael. I emailed about some anti-Warhol soup can labels.
I'll pop round and have a look.
Okay.
Well, blimey, I haven't seen these before, so how'd you come across them?
They were gifted to me by a friend who worked in an art gallery in Beverly Hills, and she gave me them and said that one day they could be worth something.
60s American pop artist Andy Warhol is famous for his images of soup cans. One original painting recently sold for over $100 million.
She must have been a hell of a good friend to give away something like this. That is You know, none of my friends would give me something like this. What sort of money are you looking for?
I'm hoping that I might get somewhere in the region of £6,000.
That's £6,000?
Yeah.
OK.
My mum passed away last year. I want the money to buy her a headstone for her grave.
Oh, that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Anything to do with Andy Warhol, you go to the Andy Warhol Foundation and ask them to validate it.
Yeah.
I'll actually take the items from you, and I'm going to need about sort of a week, 10 days to actually look into them, because we're going to have to get somebody to have a look at them.
Sure.
Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. I would just like enough to cover a headstone. The realistic side of me would be happy with £2,000. The optimistic side would be happy with £6,000.
I'm hoping these are real, because it's a lovely thing he wants to do, buying his mum's headstone, so let's just hope we can get the money for him.
Fake or counterfeit items can be a huge problem for the pawn shop.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they're reproductions. These are just replicas.
Boss James has strict protocols in place to try to protect himself.
Who was it produced by?
By De Beers.
Have you got any paperwork as well?
Yes, I have.
But with business expanding, everyone's being stretched, and the shop in Weybridge has been caught out.
Lawrence was off. It was absolutely nuts. We were very busy. Patrick asked for my opinion. I valued it, but I didn't take the back off. So I put my hands up on that.
After sending a selection of bought-in jewellery to be serviced, JMO's discovered 2 expensive watches he and Patrick purchased from a client are probably fake.
What else has she got?
The bags that Patrick bought, which we won't know until he's back.
What bags?
I don't know what he bought from her.
If she's been abroad and she's been buying those watches from Dubai, there's a good chance that all the bags that she sold are fake as well. So it could be thousands of pounds worth of shit that we've been lumbered with. My instant reaction was, how much did JMO lose me on that day? I knew it was going to come into a few grand.
James calls in watch expert Nick to verify JMO's suspicions.
I can't believe you didn't get it checked out before you... No, I'm a bit pissed off, actually, about that. We normally would have done. We were rushing. Got wind.
It's not right, I'm afraid.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Cheers, mate. Thanks,
yeah,
Nick.
no worries.
Shut up,
With Patrick on leave, James will have to wait a couple of days for some answers on the bags.
This pisses me off. I'm down probably nearly £2 on the watches. I don't know how many bags he's done at this stage. It might be £1,000, it might be £5,000. I don't know.
It's a new week at the pawn shop.
So you're looking for a short-term loan?
And a new headache for James.
Brian's coming in today, Joe. Yeah, he'll be coming down.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian, the Cray Twins fella.
Oh, right, yeah.
Although I was initially excited by the prospect of dealing with the Cray Twins art, when Brian was coming in, I was getting a little bit apprehensive and I didn't quite know how I was going to feel when I actually saw the pieces in the flesh.
Just the whole idea of it, just hearing their name gets me a little bit nervous. Do you think we should do like a body search and a metal detector on him?
We should definitely give him a frisk. I'll let you do that.
Oh, thanks.
Grab a seat, Sally.
Thank you.
We'll have a look, see what we got.
That's the boxer, done by Reggie Cray. And these two, very dark, are done by Ronnie. So every picture generally has got black.
Yeah.
A load of it is black.
There's something about them, I don't know what it is.
And we've got the caravan.
They've even got the reflection of the fire in the mirror of the caravan, in the windows of the caravan. So they're trying at least, aren't they?
Trying, yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is only oil painting ever done to the twins.
So they are obviously, this is when they were away because they're older here. What's with the patches then?
Someone who didn't get on well with the Krays.
Yeah.
This was a bullet hole through Ronnie Cray's head.
Yeah.
And this was a knife cut through Reggie's heart.
Let's see. When I saw that the painting had been shot at and had a stab wound in it, I really was concerned about dealing with this work of art. Brian, what do you want to do? Do you want to sell these pieces?
Yes, I want to sell them, please.
OK. OK, Brian. Well, look, I've got to go away, do my checks, see if we can find a buyer for these. Thanks for bringing them in.
Right, pleasure.
Cheers. I don't know what to do with it. I don't like not knowing what to do. I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. 35 years to master their art, and they come up with that.
I don't get it.
Serving Surrey's super rich can be a stressful business.
Cheers, bye. Stuck up bloody response.
Good afternoon, Prestige.
Phones are driving me mad.
And with the launch of the Hatton Garden store in London looming, the pressure is only growing.
Joe speaking.
Joe is overseeing the build and is having to work from the soon-to-be-opened site.
Sorry, I've got drilling going on and all sorts at the moment.
And today, the new counter is going in.
There have been times throughout the process of getting this new Hatton Garden store up and running that I have felt that maybe James has bitten off more than he can chew. Guys, I'm getting the property manager asking me about the drilling from the tenants above. There's no going back, so you've just got to go for it.
Possibly just what James is thinking today. He's off out to test an ever so slightly dangerous-looking aqua jetpack.
By all accounts, it's a mean bit of kit. This will be an amazing coup if we manage to find a buyer for this. Probably one of the most unusual things we've ever had in. Oh my God. That is outrageous. I've never seen anything like it. I can't wait.
The owner of the jetpack, adrenaline junkie Mick, is looking for £35,000 for his ultimate boy's toy.
Hey, hi mate.
Hello, mate.
How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Right? Yeah, good to see you. How does, in principle, this thing operate?
Basically, the water comes shooting up here.
Yep.
Gets compressed into them two hoses. So it is just the pressure of the water giving you the lift. The experience is the ultimate.
I can't wait. Do I really need to have a go in this, really? Do I? I mean, I've seen it fly. Seems all right. Yeah, of course I do. I'm not sure about this jacket. I'm an aquatic country and western singer.
Hi, James.
Before he can get in the water, James has a detailed safety briefing.
You need to be moving forward in the water at 45 degrees the whole time. You move both arms, it's twice as responsive as if you move just one. If you steer too tightly, the hose will kink and that makes it a very jerky ride for you.
Right.
If you're not comfortable at any time, again, pull the lanyard out and that will cut the engine out.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Great.
Ready?
Yeah.
Good.
As Mick's jetpack doesn't yet have any official safety certificates, James is trying out a substitute.
I was really excited about the jetpack, but I am afraid of heights, so I was bricking it.
Are we good? Here we go.
Oh my God!
Oh my God. He's up.
Hey, crazy. Hey, boy. All right, now, come on now. The jetpack was by no means easy to control. I was all over the place. Oh, the head. Absolutely astonishing. How weird. Oh, my God. Oh, my... Yeah! Hey! I'm flying. To be flying up in the sky like Superman was a real buzz. Superhero. Yay! Oh my.
Well impressed.
This is just another day at the office.
Time to get down to business.
Mick, today's been absolutely fantastic. Do you want to sell the item?
I'd sell it for 35 grand.
OK, mate. Well, look, let me go and do my research, see if we can present it to someone, and I'll come back to you. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thanks for your time today, mate. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming.
Cheers,
All right,
mate.
take care.
Thanks.
Safe journey home.
I love the idea of the jetpack, but in reality, I was concerned as to whether or not I could find a buyer.
Along the coast in Southampton, 48-year-old Michael is hoping the pawn shop will find a buyer for his signed Andy Warhol soup can labels.
The reason I've decided to sell the labels is because my mum died in February 2013. I want to buy my mum a headstone for her grave. I've done some research on headstones and you're probably looking at between £2,000 and £3,000 for a nice one. I want people to know who she is and, you know, what she meant to her family. I love you. She was amazing. Yeah, very loving.
Michael's looking for a minimum of £2,000, but hopes with a bit of luck he might get more.
Last week we won £9.50. Last night we won £3.50 on the Euro Millions. It's only a matter of time before we hit the big one.
The prospects of that jackpot lie in the hands of Lawrence, who's off to get the autographs authenticated by a specialist.
What I want to know is whether a print or not. 99% of Andy Warhol soup cans in circulation are fake. What's the odds we got the 1%?
He's meeting valuation expert Mark, who's been in the business for 25 years.
Hello, Lawrence. Nice to see you again.
Oh, it's good to see you, mate. These are the Andy Warhol soup labels, but I'm not sure whether a print or not. That's the real reason I've come today.
Let's take a look. Well, indeed, I believe those to be original soup cans and not copies.
OK, that's a good start.
OK. Yeah. These are all original signatures.
Fantastic.
Having seen several Warhol signatures in the past, Mark is able to help authenticate the autographs.
Every single one of them is different, so they are absolutely perfect.
You're 100% happy with them?
100% happy with these. I would love them in my collection.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Ooh, well, I'm getting excited now.
I think they should be presented.
Yeah.
The signature mounted underneath. There are some weird and wonderful collectors out there, and that is a very strange item.
Yeah.
Very collectible.
Yeah. Brilliant, Mark.
Thanks, Lawrence.
See you soon, mate.
See you later.
While the soup can labels are the real deal, the same can't be said for two watches bought by JMO.
Patrick, you free?
And with colleague Patrick back from leave,
How you doing?
the boss is keen to check out some bags acquired from the same client.
There's all the research on it done. And this one, the stitch counts are right on it, everything's right on it.
OK, all right. Nice one.
I'm totally happy with these.
Yeah, 100%,
100%.
Good news on the bags, but on seeing the paperwork, James makes a new discovery.
How much gear did you buy off this woman? Guys, I never knew she had another watch here.
Sure, I mentioned to you.
You didn't, because we would have had it. We would have had the back off. Have we got any other watches that I don't know about from her?
Initially, I thought it was one or two watches, and as it unravelled, it turned out there were even more, and I thought, where the hell is this going to end?
We are so busy, I had to do 3 watches and jewellery. Yeah. How many ads have I got?
You're busy, and we're taking the flak for it.
JMO?
Yep.
Do you pop in here a sec, mate? Patrick's said that he gave the watches to you, so what's happened?
When you took them in, you said you could be through them and that.
We were absolutely swamped that day, you remember, don't you?
Well, no, I do, but I thought you went through it.
No, I didn't go through any of it.
Oh, God.
So I just passed them over to you, and I just said, like, get on with those, I'll deal with the bags.
Right, so you're telling me you thought he'd looked at the backs and done his checks, and you thought he was going to?
I thought he was going to do
So
that.
that's like done.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What we've done here today is discovered that we might as well got £3,000 and set light to it and thrown it away, because that's what's happened. We've basically burnt £3,000, and it's going to take us, you know, a bit of time to get this money back. We can't have it happen again.
Yeah.
It's Friday morning, and hat designer Ilda has come to drop off her jewellery for valuation.
Hi. If you can help me, I'm looking to raise some money and was wondering if this is actually worth anything.
Well, it looks impressive to me. I'll
doesn't
come
it?
round and have a look. Let's come round there. What's the history of these then?
I don't know anything about it. It's been with my mum for many years. It was passed down through her mother.
That really is pretty. Do you know what date it is?
Well, it's got this on the front, look,
1850, yes, it's very, very old. And these look like old cuts as well.
I was hoping it was a nice vintage piece and worth a lot of money.
The workmanship
But
on
it's
it's
very
very good.
light. The jewellery's very light. So we have been joking about it might be out of a cracker.
It's such a beautiful piece. I'd like a couple of experts to really have a good look at this.
Yeah.
I'd like to see James's face when he sees this, because he loves stuff like this as well. Thanks for coming
Patrick.
in.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye
Take care.
now.
Joe,
Yeah?
look what I've got. You're going to love
hang
this.
on. I was just doing something else.
Look at that.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah, just be careful,
I'm
yeah?
going to just tip it up a bit so I can
All right,
see
we'll
it.
just- It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Very oldie-worldy.
Yeah, probably Victorian, yeah.
I love this little design in between.
Ruby and diamond.
Oh, am I allowed to just...
No.
Yeah, come on.
No, but be
I'm only
careful.
doing that. Cool, who's going to look at this then?
Patrick's going to look at that, and he's going to do some work on it.
It's so lovely.
You see what I mean?
Oh my God, Ian would want to marry you if he saw you with them in.
I'd want to marry me.
All you need is a pair of high heels and I could put the front bit of your hair in a bunch. You'd be well away.
Ian is the pawn shop's go-to consultant for vintage jewellery. And Patrick wastes no time heading there with Ilda's necklace and earrings.
When I first saw the jewellery, I was actually quite taken aback. You know, you never know, when they open a box, you never know what's going to be inside there, and that was actually a very, very impressive necklace and earrings. Ilda doesn't have a lot of information about it, and it may be the case it's actually worth very little money. I'm now taking that up to Ian to have it appraised, and he'll know very, very quickly what he feels it's worth. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Patrick. How are you?
See you for ages. Unfortunately, James isn't here today. You've got me instead.
So, Patrick, you haven't got James for me, but what have you got in here for me?
This hopefully would be slightly better than James, maybe.
Really? Oh, I don't know about that.
Have a look at that. I think it's the original casing as well.
Oh, my word.
Lovely, aren't
Wow.
they?
Isn't
that's
it
what I did as well
amazing?
when I saw them. They're very impressive.
God, that is stunning. Have you checked the rupees?
No, I haven't done any of that. I mean,
You haven't done anything?
Yeah, I've So you do all the work, basically.
Well, I would say they're natural. I don't think it's 1815 somehow.
You think it's a little bit later?
Later, but around 1860, 1880. They're all mine cut, they're all matched, which is amazing. And the stones all look original, nothing sort of replaced. Wow.
Because
Look
I mean,
at my
I wouldn't
hair
know.
stands.
Yeah.
One would have to sit down and check out all the stones, check out the weight,
Yeah.
etc.
Looking at this now, you think this is really, really a nice vintage piece. It's actually authentic, everything.
Absolutely correct. I mean, there's no way this is a reproduction. And you know, red box.
Yeah, perfectly all matched as well.
Everything done perfectly correct, you know. I could sell this with no trouble whatsoever.
So
Tell
it's good news
James,
for her.
if he marries me, he can give it to his wedding present.
The first thing I say to him when he comes
wishing.
back. All right, well, thanks, Ian. That's great.
Thank you,
All
my
right,
darling.
I'll
Thank you
put that
so
back in
much.
there. Bye.
So, good news for Ilda, but can the jewellery raise enough to fund her new London boutique? In Weybridge, James is still pondering what to do with the Cray Twins artwork. Auctioneer Adam has sold their paintings in the past, so James has asked him to cast his eye over ex-convict Brian's collection.
Hi, Joe. All right.
Ignore Joe.
Bigger than I thought for a start.
This is the bigger one.
Right. Well, it certainly looks
Oh,
like his work. Believe it or not, they have been faked.
Right.
And that's an interesting subject. We know they were king boxers. The normal subject you see tends to be the cottage or copies of famous works of art that they've seen. This is more typical. This is the sort of place that they envisaged as his dream home. And probably those two trees symbolise the twins. Nothing on the back of any of them.
No.
What collectors are looking for are prison stamps from Parkhurst or Broadmoor with the number on. They're very suspicious without the stamp. These two certainly look very much the sort of thing that I see a lot. That's a very different subject, that.
Yes.
Which might be a good thing. It might mean it's a bit more valuable.
The other one we've got is this portrait of the twins done by a relatively unknown artist.
Yeah, Paul Lake, 1989. I think he was commissioned by a former cellmate of one of the twins to do this. It's sheerly collectors of Cray and gangster memorabilia that are going to go for this.
Have you been able to sell this sort of stuff on?
We've sold loads of pictures by them. There's a sort of nasty allure to them. I think people buy them because of the notoriety. They certainly don't buy them because they're nice pictures, really, do they? It's a very murky world, isn't it?
That is true, that is true. Morally, I was beginning to doubt whether or not we should get involved with the art, and especially when it comes to earning money out of criminal activity. Perhaps don't want to get involved personally, but if we could give him a number of someone who might be interested. I don't want to make any money out of it.
You're going to help someone, but you're not going to make any money out of it.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but now and again, yeah, but Joe,
You're
it's not all
right.
about the cash.
You've got a bit of a temperature.
Joe, it's not all about the cash, as you taught me over the years.
Down in Eastbourne, Brian's been finding it hard to make a living after his spell in jail. and is hoping the paintings will fund a new life in Spain with his partner Sally.
Really what I'm hoping for is a good price and everything for the effort that we put into everything and the contacts that have been made. Just hope it does pay off. Hello.
Brian?
Hello, James.
You okay?
Yes, fine, mate, thanks. How are you?
I'm not bad. It's not been an easy task by any means, and a lot of the bigger auction houses and dealers point blank said they didn't want to touch them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Also, from our point of view, obviously there's a bit of a moral aspect because we can't be seen to be sort of involved with this type of thing. But what I've actually done for you is I've managed to locate an auctioneer that has got a few collectors on his books. I'm going to give him your details and put him directly in touch with you.
Right.
He says he can place them, basically.
Right.
I'll ping over your details to him.
Yeah.
And put you guys in touch, and let's see if he can find you a buyer. That way you'll be happy. I appreciate you coming in with them, and it was lovely meeting you. And let's see if we can do it that way, and everyone will be happy then.
Cheers. Bless you up. Bye. Bye.
I really, really like Brian, and at the end of the day, I wanted to help him, but I didn't want to profit from the Cray Twins art.
He doesn't think he can do them through his office.
Really?
But apparently Alan is going to phone me tomorrow.
All right, okay.
And then he will talk to us and find out what the best thing to do is.
Well, I think that's quite positive. Hang on, Spain, we're coming.
I'll drink to that, darling.
The grand opening of the new shop in London's Hatton Garden is fast approaching.
Yeah, Mike, look, I'll show you. We've got about an hour and a bit till people start turning up for our launch.
But instead of business pouring in, the store has water.
It's coming from this line here, look. Now, don't turn the light on. Let's just hope it's something simple and they can just get it fixed within an hour before everyone turns up.
Oh, man.
Air conditioning units, I think that's the problem.
We love a drama. There's nothing like a little bit of tea and cake to get you through, though.
Prestige, good afternoon.
For some of the shop's clients, an anxious wait is also drawing to a close.
The gentleman, Michael, is actually, he's doing something really nice. His mother died a few years ago from cancer, and all he really wants money for is a headstone.
Down in Southampton, Michael is awaiting the verdict on his soup can labels signed by pop artist Andy Warhol.
No, it's just very nerve-wracking, waiting for that phone to ring and still trying to be positive and motivated if I get told that it's not Andy Warhol's signature, therefore they're not worth anything at all.
He's looking for a minimum of £2,000 to pay for a headstone for his mum's grave.
To get the right amount of money means everything, because I'd like that headstone in place by the end of the summer, before the weather changes. She has a beautiful spot in the cemetery, and it would be made more beautiful by having a headstone on her grave. Hello?
Hello, Michael, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you, Lawrence?
I'm good. Sorry for the time it's taken to actually come up with an answer for you.
No problem. When I gave them to you, I didn't even know if they were original.
I mean, that really was the main issue. Getting the signatures authenticated and also to make sure they were proper soup labels. But I got an answer.
Right.
And the good news is they're genuine.
Fabulous.
Now, the sums he's come up with, are you looking at about £1,500 per label?
Wow.
So that's 6,000 retail.
Yep, it's a great figure.
So would you be happy with that?
Yep, absolutely.
OK, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Take care.
Cheers, Michael.
Bye. They're worth £1,500 each, and I have 4, which is £6 grand. And I'm one step closer to putting a headstone on Mum's grave. All's well that ends well.
There's something like this, when the gentleman's trying to do something really nice for his mother, you sort of almost will it to get as much money as possible.
After a thrilling tryout, has James managed to find a buyer for the Jetpack?
Well, this was a real difficult one for us. I mean, really, we didn't have anyone to turn to in terms of trying to sell it. I've done some work on it. I've got some answers for him, and I'm going to see basically how he feels about what I'm going to offer him.
In Gosport, thrill-seeker Mick still has mixed feelings about selling.
I'm not worried about what James will say at all. I'm confident he's going to say yes. But if he says no, I'm not disappointed. Hello?
Mick, how are you been? All right?
Yeah, I'm doing really well.
Well, look, I mean, it's a really interesting item, as you know, and we've never seen anything quite like it. Well, I hadn't. And it was great to trial one out, and I had a field day down there.
Right.
Well, look, I mean, as you know, it's not an easy thing to value by any means.
No, of course it ain't.
I put the feelers out. I
Yeah.
did a bit of research. And at one point, to be quite honest with you, I didn't think I was going to find anyone for it because it's such a difficult thing to try and, you know, cold like that, where people don't actually know what you're talking about half the time when you're trying to describe it. But I've actually found a guy who wants to take it away. He's really, really interested in it. He's come back to me with an offer.
Right.
And the offer is 25 grand, mate.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that'll buy it.
Wow.
So you're happy with your 25 grand, mate?
Oh, yeah, of course I am. Of course I am.
Okay.
Appreciate what you've done.
What I'll do is I'll get all the paperwork and we'll get the funds over to you.
All right, then. Well,
Cheers, Mick.
nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Result, 25 grand.
I mean, he wasn't jumping up and down, but I don't think that Mick is a sort of jumping up and down type of person.
What my girlfriend would say is, well, it don't really matter, do it?
Also eager for news is hat designer Ilda. She's popping into the Weybridge shop to discover if Patrick has managed to find a buyer for her vintage jewellery.
Ah, Ilda. Hi, thanks for coming in.
Hi, Patrick.
Oh, you all right?
Nice to see you.
Have a seat. Take a seat. It's been a long day.
Oh, you better give me some good news, Patrick.
Well, I'm trying. Well, let's go.
Don't have a looking sad face.
No, I wouldn't. That's my natural expression. Well, I mean, as I say, it's a stunning piece when it came in. I'm not really an expert on this, but I just thought it looked very, very nice.
Yeah.
And I know you're looking for some money for your business, aren't you?
Yeah, I want to expand the business into London.
So how much money are you sort of looking for? What area?
A minimum of 50,000, really.
Right. Okay, well...
We were feeling the weight of it, and it was so light we thought it might have been worth nothing. And we couldn't find a hallmark on it, so that was quite frightening. I think I started getting into a panic mode then.
I took it up to a couple of dealers.
Yeah.
They've had a look at it. I mean, one of the people I took it up to just was absolutely blown away by it. He was really, really impressed with it.
Oh, really?
What he said about it was, I mean, the workmanship, the diamonds are
So
really,
what are the stones?
They're rubies.
They are rubies?
Yeah, they're rubies, but they're
Okay.
beautifully matched rubies. I mean, everything matches.
I know.
But the diamonds are actually, they're old cuts, but they're very, very clean. But overall, he just felt this was one of the best pieces he's seen.
Okay.
So we're prepared to offer you 125,000.
Wow. Wow. Holy macaroni. Oh, my God. Wow, how much?
125,000, yeah.
125?
It's
Oh,
what
my God.
we're going to offer.
Oh, my God.
What do you think?
That's amazing. I'm emotional.
Is it okay?
It's really good.
Yeah? You pleased with that? I'm delighted. Good.
Sorry. I'm having a flush. Thank you.
You ready to start your hat business?
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of hats. How much do you charge for a hat?
A lot.
Oh, right. Okay. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very
Great.
much,
We'll be in touch.
Patrick.
Well done. We'll be in touch.
Fabulous news.
See ya.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. I am just over the moon. I'm like shaking inside with excitement.
It's not every day that you can do this, and it's great for me when you actually can turn around, you blow them out of the water and give them a lot more money than they were expecting. So, no, it's good. I love it.
After a stressful few months and some last-minute hitches, it's finally opening night for the new store in Hatton Garden.
How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, all right. Just going through the 16 to-do emails you put in my box.
Well, today is the official opening, and we've got some friends and family coming down and some people in the trades, and we're going to have a nice little drink. Did you get any champagne? Jeff accounts. Anyone?
Hi, Hiya, Jack.
People are really happy that we're here. I mean, we've had people banging on the window offering us jewellery and we're not even open yet, so the signs are really positive. And I must take my hat off to Jo because she's really worked hard. I've got a really good feeling about it.
I'm too exhausted to be excited because it's taken so much energy to get to this stage, but massive weight off my shoulders that the store is now ready to trade. It is really exciting.
And it's the first chance for James's current staff to see the new building.
It's a lot nicer than the wee cage I'm working in. Bit jealous at the minute.
They've got a kitchen. They've got a kitchen.
That's looking great, isn't it?
I think the new store's absolutely amazing, and it's a really exciting time for the company.
Well, this is a historic street in terms of jewellery, and there's some famous names here that have been here for hundreds of years, and to be here amongst them is a real honour for me, and I hope that we can do it justice.
Cheers, James.
Cheers.
Do you want to do one more button on?